Hey friends, welcome back. My name is Shayda Campbell, and on this channel we make art and it's fun, not scary. And today it is raining, it is quiet, I am tired, and I want to just do something that's really fun and chill. We're going to do some floral doodles, and I've created a sort of a coloring page slash worksheet for Patreon. My whole thing today is layering and kind of leaving little bits out of the flowers and the illustrations. So this worksheet will help you practice doing the same. Check it out over at patreon.com/Shayda Campbell. I also have a floral illustration e-course if you're interested. It's a really good price. You can bundle some of my e-courses and save, so check those out as well. And let's just get into today's video. Grab a cup of tea, light a candle if it's raining where you are, and let's get started. Hey friends, welcome. Welcome to my desk. It is a rainy day. I'm a little tired because Sully is sick, a little coming home from vacation, toddler cold. He was up a lot last night, and normally that doesn't faze me too much. He is a good sleeper, I should say that. But I think with the rain today, I am a little tired myself. So, what are you saying, Shayda? We are just going to do some simple doodles, and we are going to make them look not too simple by mixing mediums. We're going to use markers and then colored pencils. I am working in my Etch Your Sketchbook. This is called the Perfect Sketchbook. Indeed, it is an amazing sketchbook that I love so much. Let me just put the clip on there. Here are my colored pencils. These are the Faber-Castell Polychromos. It's a set that I love and that I use for a lot of stuff. I have these ones, and then there's another whole tray with like all the greens and the grays and the whatnots. That's just sort of off camera. And I'm using a mix of Tombows and Copics just because that's what I have. So grab that cup of tea, and we are just going to jump right in. For the first flower, just a cute little daisy. The magic of these is that you mix the media, so it's gonna look really simple when we start. Start with a little yellow or brown circle. Don't color things in too well. That's something I always do. Don't color it in perfectly, leave some negative space. And then take a light gray or a light beige, and we are going to kind of go around in a semicircle. Pull those lines out. They're sort of curving lines, and they get smaller on the outside. Like here, let's do a really small one there. You can probably see where this is going. Then you're going to grab a colored pencil. You don't need anything super dark, like a light gray for this will be good. And we're going to make our little floral, or our petal shape. That gray isn't quite dark. It's not as dark as I would like. It's a little too, oh, that's too dark. I'm gonna switch out my gray, go a little darker. There. I like you, that's better. The gray marker becomes the shadow on the left-hand side of each petal, or you could do the right, it doesn't really matter. And then you're just going to put some funky little petals in on the back side here, or the top. Maybe do a few lines like that. Just everything's very free, hard to mess up. And we'll do a cute little stem that's kind of like curved or has a bit of a bend in it. Messy little leaf. I can kind of do this leaf that's partly shaded, so I can make the shape by sort of adding a lot of pressure to the brush pen. And then I can make it look really painterly or really artistic by going around and sort of drawing in the rest of that leaf. And I think it looks quite cute. Let's add a little bit more intrigue by just finishing off the stamen with some messy little lines with my pencil crayon. And then you could add even more with a dark green on those leaves or whatever. I don't know if that's totally necessary. Did I mention this is like spring stuff? Spring and summer. We are We are courting spring and summer with these doodles. Okay, next up, strawberries. You can kind of do this rounded heart shape. And then don't fill it in too well. And especially don't fill it in at the top because that's where we're going to place the leaves. So just color it in and leave it like a little bit messy. That is my whole thing lately, a little bit messy. There. And for me, it's about not overthinking. Like, I'm trying to do it loose and messy, and then I'll just put like way too much thought into what that means. And always, like, my sketches where I'm practicing are better than what I do on camera or what I do as like my finished product, because once I'm into that finished product territory, I'm just like stressing and I can't be quite as loose and free. So I am trying. We're going to do a bunch of little U's to mark those strawberry seeds. I'm also going to use this brown to kind of just draw in the one side of the strawberry. And then I'll put a little line on some of those leaves. So super, you can see what we're going for here, like super loose, very illustrative, very cutesy. And I just think it's all about that layering the two mediums. It really makes everything look so like, ooh, this gal knows what she's doing. Next up is a hyacinth. This is great if you have this is really easy to do if you have a brush pen. So you're just gonna make a bunch of marks, get loose with it. Hyacinths, for me, are always defined by the little petals on the outside of the cone that kind of flip up like that. So marks, making marks, and then to keep it from being like all just very heavy, I'm going to come over here and just do what we did for the leaves. In some areas, I'm adding pressure. In other areas, I am drawing the outline of the illustration. Does that make sense? I think so. Okay, and then once you've done that blossom, that conical hyacinth blossom, you need that big, thick hyacinth stem and the big hyacinth leaf, which we can make with like a whole bunch of brush strokes. There we go. She's cute. And then same idea here. We can layer, layer, layer. So what do we need? Maybe a little bit of purple, I'm thinking. And I'm just going to do some like little messy scribbly marks, kind of go over some of these petals. Maybe do a few circles to make it look like the center of a blossom. Scribbly flowers. At least to me, this just says spring, spring, spring. Everything is very loose and free. And it's giving me like a very summery vibe on this rainy day where I'm so tired, so tired. There we go. I don't want to bring you down with my like tired vibes. I actually think when you are a little like out of sorts and feeling a bit like blah, that doing a quick sketch like this can be really good and make you feel quite productive. And if you're one of those, I think women especially struggle with this. It's like you just don't even feel good about your day unless you're productive. So this can kind of help with that need to produce, to make things, to be productive. Let's just do some little cutesies up here. I'm like very close to scribbling. It's fun to kind of just kick out like a loose little 5-petal flower, 4 petals, whatever, and just leave it at that. And here, let's just take a little red and just at the center, just do a whole bunch of little dots. That just brings that flower to life. And then I want to do like, definitely want to do some raspberries. I think let's put them over here. That would be cute. So raspberries are kind of clustered. You can do a little circle and then, you know, make it a little bit lumpy if you like. Sometimes it's easier to just add the lumps when you're coloring in. Keep them pretty tightly clustered together. Like I'm picturing a stem kind of, then maybe there's one more up here. There we go. And these guys need a little stem to join them all. And a good trick is you don't always have to use green for everything. I love using blue for my leaves and my whatnots, leaves and flowers, just because it's a little unexpected, but it still reads as this color that's very different, much darker, especially if you're doing like pink flowers and stuff like that. There we go. And for the layering, I think what I want is like a dark red. And then I'm going to do some rounded bits, some like total circles, and then also just some semicircles. So almost a full circle and a bunch of semicircles. Almost full circles and semicircles. That works, and then that made me realize that I didn't put like the little tops on my berries. So I always open the wrong end of the marker. I'll live. There we go. I think that's looking cute. You can see everything is just so sketchy, and I like that. This doesn't need to be like a finished piece to just be great practice for us. So let's come over here and we'll use this pink again. And I want to do a circle. So circle at the center of the flower, and then you can just sketch in these big messy petals. Just making sure to give a bit of space between each one so that when you color them in, they don't become like, it doesn't become this big blob. See how these ones, the petals aren't really as separate as maybe they could have been. That's okay, but just something to keep in mind. There we go. Let's thicken that up at the top, and then make some messy leaves here. I love her. And this one is going to benefit so much from what? From a fire engine red. I might just need to sharpen my pencil. A little pencil sharpener, good as new. And then, okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to draw like almost like a little flower at center. And then you go around and you do another whole wheel of petals. But then for these guys, we're just going to do lines. And the lines will help give that petal their shape. So for this one, they're going to kind of go up and out, helping to create a sense of depth and direction and texture on each and every petal. There we go. Yeah, I like that a lot. And this guy could probably benefit from a bit of shading. So let's take a blue. And I'm just gonna do a few vertical lines there. Yay, okay. This whole thing is coming together so nicely. What else? How about, I'm never mad at like something of a marigold or a mum. So what if we just do like a circle, but then you're going to make it, you know, all lumpy like that. And we're just gonna color it in. And you can leave a little negative space. It's not impossible. Although I'm making it look harder than it needs to be. And then, I don't know if my pencil crayon's gonna show up on that, but if I took like a purple marker and just did a center, bunch of brush strokes that just go out in that flower shape, I think that is really nice. And then, Let's do a flower. Like let's do one that's on a bit of an angle. Can I fit one over here? Probably. So you're gonna almost think of drawing a bowl. You're doing these little short petals at the front of the flower and then longer petals back here. And you can see me just making sure not to overdo it on the coloring in. Messy shading on those leaves. Make them a little jagged, I like that. Okay, just a bit of like a dusty brown at the center. And then this one just is desperate for some layering. So take a nice dark periwinkle, that needs a sharpen. Give me one sec. And here we go. We're going to do the lines again. Getting really dark near the center. And of course you can't see that darkness on this side, but maybe it is a bit darker at the bottom over here. So you're creating a real sense of depth and you really haven't done all that much. It's super approachable and simple. Let's grab like a really warm brown or burnt orange, something like that. And I'm just gonna do a couple circles. There. Circles. And for our green, draw in the one side and draw in the lines. Maybe the lines I'll actually put on both sides. I love it, it's so scribbly and silly and fun. What else? What else? I feel like I could maybe add more shading to the raspberries by actually doodling some circles on them and not just you doing it as an outline. So I feel like this is low energy and I just released that kind of chill, low energy nap time painting tutorial. So hopefully everybody's here for my low energy stuff. It's a little different, but you know what? That's okay. I think also this I feel like needs more contrast. So I'm gonna kind of scribble in, yeah, that is looking so much stronger now. It just needed something to pop. And then and it's very perfectly imperfectly colored in. And then you know what we could even do is, that needs a sharpen, is we could get a little bit of darker detailing just around the outside. I think that's quite pretty. That makes me wonder if I could add a little bit more to this guy. Why don't we just take like my darkest bluey purple and just see. Maybe add another crown of petals going out. I don't hate it, you guys. It's kind of cute. I could just see like a little tote bag with these really loose floral illustrations. And if you're working on your own stuff, I challenge you to like pick 9 or 10 flowers that I didn't do and see if you can do them in a similar style where you're just laying down a big chunk, we'll call it a chunk of color, and then you're actually sort of doing the little delicate illustrative line in another area. And then layering, you could layer with digital illustration. You could start with watercolor and then layer marker or colored pencil. So there's a lot of fun options, I think. And I kind of feel like we could fit one more little something up there. So what about just like a sweet little, what about a sweet little snowdrop maybe? I'm not sure. Actually, before I get to that, I wanted to put my raspberry leaves together and just add the detail that I meant to do. Just doing like a little heart shape for the leaves, and then the veining, I mean for the kind of sepal at the top, and then for the veining on the leaves, a few little lines. That's that. I really like this when you just outline some, I mean, it's very much like what we've done here and here, but maybe you just add a leaf or two or a petal or something that's just the line drawing. That's it. That's all. I mean, with that said, why don't we give these guys some petals, but they're just outlines. I mean, petals, leaves. Yeah, I think that works actually. I'm really having a lot of fun lately, and I'm sure you've noticed if you watch a lot of the videos, I'm having fun challenging myself as an artist and illustrator, challenging myself to just do less and to think about things more from an illustrative point of view. A few years ago, I just wanted to draw well. I was still, working on just being able to draw things. And now I feel myself kind of trying to push my style forward and do some interesting stylistic things. So I hope you're enjoying that in the videos, and that is sort of coming through in the videos as well. What else could we do up here? I mean, we could certainly do a strawberry blossom and a strawberry leaf, or I feel like I'm just gonna mess it up. Like some sort of cute little snowdrop might be nice. Well, let's do that. Like there. I'll just give her a pretty little leaf here. There we go. Nice sepal. Thicken this up a little. And I think it can be nice to know that you can do the marker first, but you can also do the illustration first. There. So we have this pretty little snowdrop, and then shading it is just, you just say, okay, this side is a little darker. And then as far as our leaves, I think we just need like a medium dark green. There, I love that. She's cute. That low energy video, I'm into it. Okay, we're just going to fill in this little gap up here. Oh, I actually opened the right end of the marker that time. Someone get me a lottery ticket. Okay. Yeah, this was so fun. Thanks for joining me today, friends. I am having a lot of fun just pushing my style forward, as I said, and I am so grateful that you're giving me the room to do so, and that you're, joining in and feeling it. Okay, let's write just florals down here just cause it's fun to title stuff, and then we can sign it. Ba, 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 ba. And date it, why not? It looks so artistic when you do that. Thanks for hanging out with me today, guys. This was a fun one. And I was definitely like, ooh, do I have to? I don't really feel like I'm gonna create anything good. And then now I'm really happy that I did sit down. So there we go. And I really appreciate you being here and hanging out with me on this rainy, chill afternoon. And I hope you'll give these a try. These are ones that if you follow along, you're going to do a good job. You're going to be like, whoa, I just drew flowers and they look amazing. So give it a chance, and I will see you soon with a new tutorial.